Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm finally bringing back client tutorials. It has literally just been entirely too long. I don't even remember the last time that I did one of these. Truly, I know I did an Instagram live a few months ago, but that just wasn't the same as filming and having the whole setup, and I'm just it feels so good to be back already. The first look I'm going to be doing today is going to be a bridal look, and I'm so excited. She actually is my bride, I think this month. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions, just comment, DM, email me, whatever works. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Okay, so starting out, I'm going to go in with this Tarte Shape Tape. I'm taking whatever's left over on my hand, I'm taking my beauty sponge, doing this to get the rest of it, and then just going back and just patting it over the skin. Once I have the eyes nice and primed, I'm going to go in with the Marissa translucent setting powder and just pat that into the eyes. I always start out with the Tarte Toasted palette. I legit use one shade out of this palette all the time, pretty much on everyone. I'm taking this on a Morphe M511, so it's just a really big crease brush, and just taking it with not a lot of pressure, and I'm just kind of using windshield wiper motions and putting it all over the crease. Really kind of not focusing it in too much of one area. Whenever I get to the edges, I'm really making sure that I'm smoking it out, because you can always go back in and clean up later, so I'd rather have too much product that gets wiped away versus not enough and it looks like your eye is cut off. Okay, now I'm going in with the Morphe 25A palette. So I'm going to first go in with this shade, then we're going to move to this shade. So it's going to be this, this, and this. So with the first darker color, I'm kind of focusing it on the outer V of the eye, and then whatever is left over on the brush, after I have it built up, I'm going to take it and just push it in the inside, because you want it to all blend. You don't want it to look super harsh, so we're focusing the majority of the product on the outside and then pushing it in the end. I go with that second shade of pointing to and do pretty much the exact same thing. I use a lot of colors that are a little gradual, gradually gets deeper from one another, because I love how much of a smooth look that gives, and it gives it a seamless look versus going straight from the crease color to a dark color. It makes it a lot easier and blendable and easier to work with, so that's why I use so many different shades. So you can see that is the third shade, and you can tell that it's a good bit darker. And then with the last color, I'm just going to go in and slightly take it on the very edge of the brush, and I'm going to lift and do it closest to the lash line. Now I'm going to go in with the 35F, which I should honestly be very ashamed that I'm even showing this on camera because it looks so beaten up. But I love to mix this shade with this shade, obviously. There's not much left of them. So I'm just taking it and really just pressing it in to the lid, and then kind of sweeping it back further. And after I do that, I go in with the same fluffy brush that we did the first original crease color. Don't put any extra product on, and then smooth it all together. I use the Stila Stay All Day, the felt tip. Look down. Okay, so see how whenever I was cleaning it up, I didn't just do straight across. I kind of went at an angle. This helps to really lift the eyes, and I just love the way that it like gives the overall finish to the eyes. It really, really gives you such a natural lift. Kind of the way a cat, like a wing liner would give you, but it's a lot less harsh and more subtle. Yeah, that color was pretty much a perfect match, and that is the 3W2 Cashew and Estee Lauder Double Wear. So now I'm just going to take it and just do this. And I like to start at the bottom. Okay, so now that we have the foundation all on, I'm going to go back in with Tarte Shape Tape. I'm going to use the color Medium. Back in with my same sponge and dab it. Now we're going to go in with the RCMA. It's like a contour palette with a mini duo fiber, mapping out where I want the contour to go. And then to your head back. I'm going to go in and blend. I start with the nose because I don't ever want the nose to be too harsh. So I'm just going to go in. So I used this color to map everything out, and I'm going to use a little bit of this color to blend it all out with a little tapered brush from Morphe. And stuff or like bad work. So it's like part of me is I'm like, gotta hurry, and then I'm like, no. So I don't have any extra product on this brush. I keep the majority of the product in the back and then feather it forward. That way it gives you a very just Now I'm going to take my sponge and just mesh everything together. Now that we are done with the cream products, I go in with the powder. I'll either use Laura Mercier translucent powder or the Charlotte Tilbury magic powder. Today I'm going to use the Charlotte Tilbury one. And I put it on a very fluffy but dense brush and then start setting. And I just press it into the skin. I'm taking a flat brush like this, a Sigma one. Now I've gotten away from baking or whatever you want to call it. I don't really do that a whole bunch anymore unless you're just extremely oily. In that case, I still do it. But if you are just, you know, a little oily, but it takes hours to get there or whatever, I don't tend to do over powder because that's what really makes the makeup look heavier. When you stick to creams and not as much powders, it looks a lot more natural. Like 2 more weeks and then he's going to Seattle with my family. With that dog. As you can see, I did a tiny bit of baking around the nose just to bring it in and kind of make the nose contour complete, but immediately I'm going back in and dusting it off. Now for the bronzer, I'm using the Marc Jacobs Omega bronzer with a large duo fiber brush. Taking just a small amount of product just really to set it. I don't really want to deepen the color all that much. The amount of bronzer I'll do. Now for blush, I'm going in with MAC Melba and a fan brush. I'm doing just like this. After I have the blush on, I go back in with the translucent powder by Laura Mercier on that same brush, tap it off, and then I take it flat and I just go over everything I just did. This softens it, blends it together, really gives it like an airbrush effect. To finish off with the eyes, we're going to do underneath the eye and then the lashes and brows. Going back in with that Morphe palette, and I'm just going to take this shade and this shade. For the brows, I'm going to use this Duo by Anastasia with the brow brush from Sephora. So I actually like to cut about forward end where it's in two different sections. I find it way easier to work with that way. Open it down. Open. And then open. For lips, I'm using Peekaboo Neutral by NYX and NYX Natural Lip Liners. Now I'm going to go in with Sephora Lip Stain in 02. To set, I'm just going to use the Bin 9 Final Seal. This is the final look. I really hope that you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions, let me know, and also leave any video requests in the comments section.